Today we're making the quilt Picket Fence using the layer cake peach cobbler. What's exciting is there's not a lot of trimming. You use the whole layer cake to make the quilt. Okay, so I'm going to get right into it. The fabric is called peach cobbler, and here's an idea of what it looks like. This is some bolts that I have in the shop, and then the layer cake, and you can kind of get an idea from looking at the back. That's all of the fabrics that's in the collection. And as you can see, they're really bright and fresh and great for summer. So I think what attracted me to this line was my husband. He asked me all the time, when are you going to make a peach cobbler? So when I saw this immediately, I thought of him, and I love that it's so pretty for summer. So I already selected the ones that I thought would be pretty for those squares. And the rest of the layer cake you use to make these little patchworks. As you can see, they're just little pieces. So I'm going to show you first of all how to cut the layer cake for the patchwork. And here's one. It's a 10-inch square, and I've got it laying on my mat. And you just cut it into 2.5-inch strips. Simple as that. So you just lay your ruler on there and just start cutting. And you've got, before you know it, let me show you. There. You've got 4 of them, just like that. So of course, when I do these, I always want to layer them. So I'll show you how that works. We always put the stretchy on top. That's something my mother taught me many years ago. So all the fabric's biases are the same direction. So you pull and this side doesn't give, but then you turn it and it does. So that's the stretch. And I just layer those stretches together, and you can see how they just line right up. And you put this, you place it on your mat, and when you cut through layers, sometimes the bottom will move a little bit. And a little trick I learned from another quilt person is she goes back a little at first and then goes, and that keeps the your stack together. So I'm going to cut these really quick, and let's see right here, 32. There we go. So now I've got all of these cut at the same time. So I'm going to just lay them together, and those are going to be used to make your patchwork. So the next instruction is to sew them into little sets of 5 that we made. And notice how you trim the strip set. You just lay it on the same way. It's a 10-inch square, or very close to one. You lay it on the cutting mat, and you just do the same thing. Now on the strip sets, I don't generally layer those. I do those one at a time. So I'll show you how to cut these. You just go right up through there. You don't really have to do your backtracking with one layer. You know, you can just cut it. And there we go. Now, here are the strip sets that we need to make. So these little strip sets are these little pieces right here. See that? And then the only fabric yardage you need is a white. And for this, I chose the Riley Blake color cotton, and it's exactly the color of Kona snow. So, and it matches the background of this. See, this little white color here is exactly this color. So this is the color you need for this. And I just cut the strips the sizes they say. And interestingly, the strips on the outside of this set, these 2 strips are a 1/2 inch larger than that center strip. So you've got this larger size, and you've got your 2.5. And then I scramble these. I've got a whole pile of them made up. And then you put the narrower strip in the middle, and then a wider on the outside. So see, there is your unit that you make. You sew these together, but of course you would have a different fabric here. I'll turn it that way so it kind of looks like a different fabric. And then you're going to have these units like this, like that. And that's the picket fence. And now I want to show you how it looks laid out on the table. Okay, so if you look at the picture, they started with the big square. So we're going to do that. We're going to put a large square in the corner, and then the picket fence goes sideways. So we're going to go like this. Get that off of there. And put the flowers. And now when you go around the next row, the picket fence goes straight up and down. So we'll do that. Up and down. And do just a flower print. And a picket fence. Oh, let's turn it around because I don't want this to touch this. Okay, and then let's see. I'll put this floral. And let's see, maybe green, this big green. Okay, so here you can kind of see, oh, I think maybe this could go here. That'd be pretty. I'll put that yellow down here. Okay, so anyway, you see here's all the different fabrics that you have to pick from, and you need to make, you know, the amount of these picket fence blocks that you need to finish the quilt, and which I decided to make a twin. So I'm going to do the twin size right here. And the twin is 67 by 86. And then I'm going to put a border on it, which it doesn't call for a border, but I want it to be a little bigger than that. So I'm going to pick a fabric that I'm going to lay it all out and then put a fabric beside and decide what I want. So, but yeah, this is the Picket Fence quilt made with the Peach Cobbler collection. All right. Thanks for watching.